Hello everyone, I'm Silver. It is Monday, August 2nd. A quick welcome back must go out to all returning viewers. If you did tune in last time and decided to come back, I really do appreciate it. I also want to just say a quick hello to all new viewers. I am pretty social. You can actually find me most on Discord as SilverD, hashtag 8858, and on Instagram and Twitter as @SilversKnitting. Now, I do have a fair amount of stuff that I do want to talk to you about today, so I probably should get started, right? Also, I am going to apologize if it seems that I'm a bit overly distracted and out of sorts and quite frankly not completely awake. This month has been a month of wait, what was I doing for me? So, yeah, most especially these past few weeks, especially this past week. Oy. Anyway, sorry about that. But I did get a pretty interesting title out of it, so I don't think I can be that mad. So please grab your drink of choice, your crafting, and away we go. Today I'm actually going to be doing the healthier thing and just actually drinking some water. So out of my big old jug of water, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. As I've already had my 2 cuppas for the day, I'm trying not to drink more than 2, but we'll see how that goes later on. Anyway, in this episode, we do have FOs or finished objects. I do have a home or half object. We do have whips or works in progress. Radio GaGa, Silver's book pile, Silver and the case of the screen time, my favorite things, the more you know, and the end of the road. Okay, so I'm going to take another quick drink and then we will move on to the next segment. All right, let's talk FOs or what I finished since the last time we talked. Well, the first thing I'm going to talk about is what I called Jack's Flirting Again, take 2. This is the Vanilla is the New Black sock by Ania Fletcher. It actually has an expanding heel on it. The yarn I used on this one was 3 Irish Girls Yarn Ink in the Springvale sock. Trust me, I'm a doctor colorway. Let's see if I can get a better... Yes, I love that heel. Anyway, I did knit these up on a size US 1.5, which actually is a 2.25 millimeter 9-inch circulars, only because the yarn itself is kind of thicker. So it would be kind of classified as a heavier fingering yarn. I'm like looking up like I expected to be up there. Anyway, the next thing that I'm going to talk about, oh, hold on, I forgot to tell you, those actually got me a total of 233 yards for Stash Dash, so yay. The next thing I did finish, like I started to mention, is what I called the 9 Merry Holiday Socks of Silver, version 1. I did finish the first pair. This person has long feet. I'm making basically 9 pairs of socks for the holidays. And so I figure I might as well get started. I am using what I'm calling Mite Vanilla Toe-Up Socks. I am very close to knowing when I'm going to be scheduling and doing the video on that, but that's a whole nother issue. I use the Candy Cane colorway by West Yorkshire Spinners, which is actually very aptly named for a holiday yarn colorway. I did use a size US 1, which is actually a 2.25 9-inch circulars for those as well. I love it. The majority of the way, and then for the heels, toes, and cuffs, I actually switched over to 2 16-inch circulars. I think they were 1.5, actually, if I'm being honest, but I don't remember. Anyway, that actually ended up getting a total of 310.27 yards. The next thing, I don't know if you can hear it, but stuff going on downstairs. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to talk about is what I call my Crochet Pride shawl. I'll have to show it off in a big old picture. If you are a Patreon, you're getting a first look. That kind of a spoiler. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely love it. Anyway, before I start cuddling with it, this is the Quick and Simple Granny Shawl by Hannah Owens, and what I did was I made 4 different pieces, 2 of them in a rainbow color, which was the Knit Circus Yarns Greatest of Ease yarns that they have. That the the colorway called it Love is Love. I also did make another piece with 3 different colorways. One was Leading Men Fiber Arts Just Peachy, and then there's a Sweet Georgia Yarns in the Birch colorway, which is a white color. You also have Starlight, which is a lighter blue, and then there's a darker blue, which is actually called Summer Skin. I absolutely love it. And I used a little bit of a, a gray color, but I don't remember who it's from, sorry. What I also did is I have another piece that has lots of browns in it, but I don't remember who the yarns are from because these are majority of scraps. I believe the tan color, the lightest color on it, is actually a Loopy U Solid Series tan color, or bisque, I believe, if I remember correctly. I should probably have written that down. What do you think, huh? All right, let me go ahead and put that aside. Just a quick note, that actually ended up netting me about 2,326.4 yards for Stash Dash. And to reiterate, I did use a size G hook, which is actually a 4.0 millimeter. I need to stop saying actually, but I love this hook. I use it for a lot of things. Let's see. Oh, the next thing that I did finish was what I called Pride Progression. Yes, I did do another progression. I pretty much started and finished this in 1 month. Actually, in under 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks? 3? I don't remember. Anyway, this actually netted me 826.34 yards. It started off with the Leading Men Fiber Arts Just Peachy colorway, and then went into the Sweet Georgia Yarns, the Birch colorway, the Starlight colorway, as well as the Summer Skin colorways. And since I was not quite done with the shawl, but I needed more yarn, I actually I went to my LYS and ended up getting this Blossoms colorway, or sorry, Light Trace, I believe is the colorway name, which is Blossoms from Wonderland Yarns. So absolutely gorgeous. It's actually it is a gradient colorway. So it starts off with a white colorway and goes up to gold and eventually to purple, which I mostly kept for myself, this purple colorway, so that I can make something else with it. Don't know yet, but it's just enough to add as a couple squares too, so we'll see if that works. Oh, right. Speaking, oh yeah, right. Duh, you want to know. That was the Progression Shawl by Carin Reisinger. I did use a size US 5, which is the 3.75 millimeter on 40-inch circulars from Knitter's Pride. For the majority, actually for the wow, brain fart. Like I said, I'm gonna have a few of these today. The bag I put this in was the Blue TARDIS bag by the Knitted Broomstick. All right, and the last thing that I finished was a total of 8 round blanket squares since the last time we talked. They are all miscellaneous fingering yarn scraps. I don't have the tags on a majority of them anymore. And quite frankly, I don't know if I had them even after I worked on most of the projects, so that's fine. Anyway, I did use a size US G hook again, which is the 4.0 millimeter I showed before. I have also started connecting some squares. I have a total of 6 rows completed, and then the 7th row is attached to the blanket. I just have to go ahead and go around the outside of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a full video here of the full blanket so far. Just as a fair warning, it's a couple minutes long, and I'll just pop it in here. I'm sorry, this blanket is super awkward to show off, so if you are motion sick, I apologize. This is actually where I started, so I've done 1, 2, 3, I got 4 rows, 5, 6, and actually the end last row here. This is actually where I ended, connecting all of these squares. So it's already getting big. You can see it's all bunched up here. It's very awkward to show on camera. So I will just show off as much of it as I possibly can. I'm trying to go for like a rainbow-ish blanket with this one. Obviously I have made it as far up as the blue ones. I've got some purple in here. Hold on, I'm going to pause it quick and see y'all. It's still going. It's wider than it is long for the moment, but you can see where the purple started, and I had some browns in there before, some black and white, and I think there's some different colors. Anyway, so I'm enjoying it so far. Don't get me wrong, it just takes a long time to connect. I'm using, I have like 6 or 7 skeins of this color. I'm on the second and third. I don't know where the third starts in this ball, let's be honest. It's been a while since I wound it up like that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the like rambling walkthrough of this blanket, because yeah, I was actually here in the adding squares, so I had literally done up till the beginning of this row connecting, and then that was it. And then I started putting it into the blanket, so it's one whole row and one connected, I guess you can say. Anyway, thanks for listening. Alright, well, I'm going to delay that more in post, but anyway, this got me a total of 160 yards. So, what that means is I do have a total of 27,707.32 yards, which amounts to about 25,335.68 meters. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm going to show off the ticker here so you can see it as well. I have surpassed even my stretch goal. So at this point, I think I'm just going to try to finish what I can during the summer and then call it good. Alternatively, what I can do is I could probably go up to 30,000 roughly, and just call it good there. See, this is what happens when you put off finishing things for a couple months just because you want to finish it for Stash Dash. But anyway, I am rambling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take another quick drink and I will go on to the next segment. Let's talk hose or haft optics. I did finish half of the 9 Merry Holiday Socks of Silver on part 2. Our sock is completely done. Absolutely love it. Again, this was the vanilla toe-up socks that I am creating. Hopefully soon will be published. I'm using the Candy Cane colorway by West Yorkshire Spinners. Let's see. I've used the US 1, which is 2.25 millimeter on 9-inch circulars. I am currently on the foot of the second sock. I'm about 30, almost 30 rows into the socks. I don't know exactly how many. I have to go ahead and count. Luckily for me, I do have a ring counter so that I can just work on it even while I am talking. I am hosting this in my green holiday bag by Molly Klein Designs, which I absolutely adore. Sorry, I got a little distracted because the sock I was working on went running when I went to show the bag. Real life, y'all. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. I forgot what I was doing for a second there. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's talk whips, or what I'm currently working on. The first one I'm going to mention is what I called July's Stripey Socks. I am still on the first sock, but that's fine. This is the Regia Perfect yarn in a rainbow colorway. But what's supposed to happen is when you get the ball, you are supposed to cut off this yellow yarn that comes with it. Just to say, hey, this is the beginning of your yarn. This is where you start it in both socks. I looked at it and I was like, I kind of like that yellow. I want to use that yellow because I wasn't sure how many times I would mess up the cast on edge. But that's fine. So what happens is that on the cuff now, I do have a line of the yellow that goes down into the cuff, but that's fine. That's how I normally knit and weave in my ends, is to knit it with the first stitch on every round. So did a 1x1 ribbing on it. And just knit down to a heel. The pattern on the ball band asks you to do a boomerang heel, which don't actually fit my heel at all. Like, so I did a traditional cuff down sock with the heel flap and the gusset itself. So didn't come out too bad considering. I do have this one little stripe of 2 rows from the start of the quote-unquote red, because it's not true red, like what you're seeing on the camera and in the pictures. Yeah, that's not quite a red, but still. Anyway, I have gotten about 30 rows into the foot on this one as well. I am completely done with the foot. I lied. I am completely done with the foot. I just need my 16-inch circulars from another project that I'll mention in a little bit. I need those from that. But I had to talk to you about something about that particular project first. That's why it's been put off for a while. And the second thing is, obviously, month of July is over. So I'm kind of not as motivated with those. I'm probably going to be casting on the first sock for August color, which I think is downstairs still. Yeah, it's downstairs. Okay, cool. I'm on a roll with that one. Either way, like I said, I am using the US one, which is on 9-inch circulars. I am hosting all of my projects, all the stripy socks that I've had throughout the year, in my Exploding TARDIS bag by Molly Klein Designs. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this away now, because knowing me, I will forget and completely lose my place. Okay. Alright, let's talk the next thing that I have been, a fair amount of work in the month of July. Actually, I don't remember when I cast on or hooked it on anyway. Spoiler alert. This is called Shawl. It is the Quick and Simple Granny Shawl by Hannah Howens. I'm actually doing a lot of these with miscellaneous yarn scraps just to kind of use up a lot of my yarn scraps. Right now I'm on row 70 out of a possible 80, or I might end up just ending it sooner because it is large enough. And obviously I can't show it all in one go. The end is cut off of where the yarn is right now. I haven't decided. Once I decide if I'm going to move on to other colors, I'll go ahead and put them in there. Anyway, like I said, I'm also using my G hook, which is a 4.0 millimeter. And I am hosting that in my TARDIS bag by the Knitted Broomstick. Sorry, I just started having like an allergy attack or something. I think I might have knocked a little bit of dust around. Okay, whew. Anyway. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is actually something I have kind of a tale of woe, but that's a separate issue. I called this A Crowley Will Always Be a Crowley. It's the Downton Forever by Phyllis Lagerman. I don't know how you pronounce the first name. I'm so sorry. The yarn I'm using on this one is the Hue Loco Glit Sock in the Money Cake colorway. It was an exclusive if you were watching the Grocery Girls. It was one of their like created colorways with Hue logo. I loved it. I had to have it. This is a sock that I've had on the needles for a little while. Thing is I got to the end of the first pattern rotation that first time or first 3 times I worked on it, first like month I worked on it, and then it just kind of sat there for a while, which I think might be part of my gauge issues with this. Yeah, like I said, I am actually using a size 1.5, which is actually a 2.5, I think. Or no, 2.5 millimeter on 9-inch circulars. And then when I got down to the heel, I used my new DPNs. Now, here's the problem. These don't fit. I am literally down to where I would start for the toe. Try them on. They do not fit. They fit most of my foot. The problem is when I do go to stretch out the patterning and stuff on my foot to wear it, there's a lot of like gappage. I don't know if that's just the way that the pattern is written to look, or maybe I should have used a size 2. I don't know. I thought maybe, hey, going up to, a 1.5 will be fine. But then I'm looking at it and I'm seeing a lot of drop stitch, like not really dropped stitches, like they're there. They just look really bad because, I don't know. So it was kind of like, it was all wibbly wobbly, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm not really happy with how it, how it came out. And I didn't want to, I didn't want to not be selfish with these pair of socks because I really like the colorway. So I think I'm debating ripping them out and casting on a toe-up sock, no pattern, just leaving it as a vanilla sock, or I might even do another cable-y type sock that's a little bit more simple. But I'm not sure because I'm not really a fan of the way that cables feel in my feet either, so I don't know. I haven't quite decided. It's actually why I do need your advice. I'm hosting this directly in my Stitching the High Notes holiday bag that I got last year, I think. Or was it 2 years ago? At this point, I don't remember. But it's so cute. Yes. I love this bag. It's a drawstring bag. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put a video in now asking for a little bit more advice, although I pretty much have said exactly what I need to say about that. I'll put that in here. Guys, this makes me so mad. So I am literally about 2 or 3 rows from the end of my foot that I need to finish. I tried it on. It's too goddamn freaking tight getting over my heel. After all the work that I did, I'm like, do I put them back in timeout? Or do I just rip it out? Like, I need some advice. It is such a pretty design, but I thought about possibly just finishing them and then giving them to somebody, because I might have somebody in mind that would like it. Problem is, I really want this yarn for myself. I'm being a selfish knitter. I don't know. What do y'all think? I think I'll put it until timeout until you guys else do this video and chime in. Maybe. I don't know yet. I definitely need to put them aside at least for now. Start knitting while we're talking here for these segments too. I hope you don't mind. All right. Radio Gaga. Well, this month I have been not so much listening to things as different songs and things like that. I found a punk rock list that I kind of liked for about a minute. And then I was listening to the soundtrack to Good Omens a few times. Also, I've been listening to the 100 Best Rock Hits on Amazon Music. All these are on Amazon Music. But there's a list that I've been pretty much listening to that whenever I wasn't listening to podcasts or watching podcasts and what have you. Oh, speaking of podcasts, I have been listening to I Am All In. It's the podcast with Scott Patterson where he goes and watches episodes of Gilmore Girls and reacts to them, as well as having special guests and things like that. I have been listening to Unraveled. It's a podcast most recent season about the stalker's web, this one dude that decided to troll people on the internet, and whoa, there's a lot going on with that one. I've also been listening to the Murder Squad and also My Favorite Murder. Per the usual. I love those podcasts. I know My Favorite Murder is on vacation for the summertime. I think they're almost back. So they've been playing repeat episodes. Quite frankly, they've kind of been made new for me again, because I have forgotten a good majority of what I've listened to be honest. It's been one of those months, you guys. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Silver's book pile. Alright, you guys, I have finished 3 books since the last time we talked. The first one was Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Finally read through that book. I absolutely loved it. I spent a lot of my time this month actually reading it. And then I decided I wanted to start The Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, that trilogy, although technically there are 4 books, so is it a trilogy? Not so much. Anyway, I also read Christmas at the Chateau by Lorraine Wilson, just to kind of have a little bit of fluff in there. I am actually currently reading Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness. I've also been listening to Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, actually I have been listening to Outlander by Diana Gabaldon on Audible. As I said last month, I am trying to listen to the books up until the current season, or what is the current season of Outlander. I think they're meant to put the episodes out sometime in early July or January, I think. I'm not sure, but they did wrap a while ago, so they've got time. I've also been reading The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule, Beside Me by Anne Rule. It's actually the first time I am reading that book. It's the book about Ted Bundy and Anne's relationship, I guess you can say, with him. Anyway, can't believe it's the first time I'm reading through it. I'm rolling my eyes. You can't see that in the audio, but I'm definitely rolling my eyes. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. Silver and the Case of the Screen Time. Alright, I have been spending a fair-ish amount of time in front of the electronic babysitter this time around. That's just kind of how my brain has been, to be honest. I've watched several episodes of Boy Meets World. Not a lot, but a few of them. I've also been watching Supernatural along with Seska Says and her reactions. Also, again, been watching season 1 of Gilmore Girls along with the I Am All In podcast. I did finish up Loki. Oh my gosh, Loki. If you have not watched Loki, I recommend and request almost that you watch that. It is a pretty amazing series, and we did get word we are getting a second season, which is good because they left off at a really, really weird place. So I'm glad that they picked that up for a second season. I binge watched all of Destination Fear. Destination Fear did come back last week on Saturday. I have to watch yesterday's episode, so the second episode of season 3, or what they're calling season 3, but technically they had enough episodes and enough road trips actually in season 2 to make it two separate seasons instead of just one. But that's just me. What do I know, right? Let's see. Since last week, I've actually been watching Law and Order SVU. I saw that there was that Alex Kingston was in it at one point, so I'm going to try to binge through as much of it as I possibly can. I just finished season 1. I haven't even bought season 2 yet, so I'll get on that soon, I promise. Yes, speaking of things on Disney Plus, I have been watching a few movies there. I did try out the new Aladdin. That was actually pretty awesome. I was hesitant to watch it until now. I know Will Smith would do a good job with whatever movies he chooses to be in. I was just worried because I really liked Robin Williams as the genie in it, so I wasn't sure how that would work. But they did do a really good job of updating it for today's audience, getting a lot of the problematic phrases of the original out, so that was good. Let's say, I also watched a lot of movies that have been in my mind since I was younger. You know, the ones we grew up with, like Motocrossed. I did watch Smart House. That is kind of creepy, but also a pretty good movie because Katie Sagal can do anything she puts her mind to. Cadet Kelly. I also watched Johnny Tsunami as well because I figure, hey, why not? As to podcasts I watched this month, I did watch Looney Hiker put up a couple of videos this month. I also watched Knit Sense, who's been back after a couple months, so that was good to see her come back. I did watch the Knitters League again. They came back after like 5 months, and they're doing a 4 or 5 part longer episode into 4 or 5 parts, so that's good. That means we'll have some content for a bit to kind of watch. The Knit Girls I watched, as well as Stitching the High Notes. I am super behind on every other podcast I watched, or I watch. I know Criminally Creative just came out with a new episode this past week, I think, the last couple of days. I'm sorry, I've been really busy with stuff behind the scenes here in the house. Oh, yeah, like I mentioned, I've been pretty much sucked into the YouTube channels and the streaming scene over the past week, especially. Billy Binges does few movies that I've been watching. Also been watching a lot of Sika Says, or Seska Says rather, r/Mr. Reddit. Basically, when I need audio only, their videos are awesome. And then some random videos, like, you know, the usual I need to calm down, so car crash video thing that I mentioned last time around and previous podcasts. Anyway, as to the streams that I've been watching, Meditative Crafter and Dark Era New Vegas, also known as Vegas, they have actually been streaming quite a bit, and I love it. They're pushing for their affiliate, which is basically right before they can start accepting subscriptions to their channel and stuff. So I hope you go by, give them a follow on Twitch. I will go ahead and link everything in the show notes below this video. And also I'll be linking it in the show notes. Please, please, please give them a watch. MTI also has been streaming, besides myself, MTI has been streaming quite a bit as well. He's been into a bunch of Final Fantasy IV randomizer races, so that was fun to watch him do those as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick drink, and then I will meet you in the next segment. My favorite things. Okay, guys, I have gotten a few things in the mail and a few things that are on their way here. I do want to mention, I did get some yarn from my LYS, but I cannot remember where I put it because I've already used it all. You actually heard about that already. We also did end up needing to get new Switch controllers. Let's just put it this way. The drift on it was so bad that you can possibly use it in Tokyo Drift. Like, it was that bad. I mean, I joke about that all the time, but it was so bad. At one point when I was doing videos and doing streams and things, especially like Animal Crossing and whatever, the character would always be running off in the left, who it's just running off left for no reason. So every time we would have company or whatever, I had to go ahead and put her or sit her down, or my character down on the bench or a stool or something to get them from wandering off and messing with what I was trying to do. So yeah, it was ridiculous. Mine are orange and purple. to no one's surprise. Empty eyes are blue and yellow. That way we can tell them all different and whatever. So that way, yeah, it's just something we do to make sure that, quite frankly, he doesn't use my switch modes when he's doing the exercise game, because he tends to hit the ring super hard against his knees when he doesn't need to. So, sorry, babe, calling you out on that, but whatever. Anyway, I did get a shipment from Hollywood. There was a shirt in it called "I Broke It." It burned me, so I purchased it. That's a quote actually from their Umbrella Academy parody. If you're not watching their parodies, you should. Definitely should be. They're amazingly put together. Anyway, I also did get 3 pairs of socks. The first one is Shake It Off, which is another one of their parodies. One of them, they did a Sherlock parody. It's called Bloody Awesome, is what the socks are from. They are awesome. I really do like looking at them. I'll include pictures too. But and then I also got a pair of Time Warp socks as well, because that's actually what got me started on watching their videos. They are big fans of Doctor Who and the 10th Doctor, and I am too. So, yay. Obviously, the shirt that I'm wearing are my Legends Never Die shirt, which was the shirt that came when Capaldi was first starting. So, anyway. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, MTI got memory or RAM for his computer, because it's been bothering him that his computer keeps slowing down every time he streams or he does more than one thing at a time. I don't know. I personally think that there were just some corrupted files stopping things, and that was confirmed this morning when he was trying to get the RAM into his computer. Anyway, I'm rolling my eyes at my ridiculousness. Let's see. Oh, the other thing that I have been spending a lot of time since the last time we talked, I'm actually doing a remodel on our island in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I have 2 new characters that I created, basically to build up and build their houses. We're using their houses to make a cafe, or a Luke's diner, and a bunch of gym areas and music shops and things like that. I don't know how we're going to do all of that. I haven't quite figured that out. Decorating the inside of houses is not my forte. I'm better at doing all of the remodeling outside the houses, like all the building up of the island and making all the water happen. I'm better at that. I'm going to be honest. MTI is probably better at the decorating thing than I am. But then again, that's not saying much, because both of us just kind of throw stuff in our house wherever they fit. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment. The more you know. One more time. The more you know. I always seem to get one of them wrong. I'll pick later. Anyway, let's a few random announcements to talk about before we get to the alongs. First, I'm going to announce that we did start off what I'm calling it stash vlogs. That started actually 4/21, and I have 3 per month on Wednesdays. I will be sure to remind everyone, of course, there's going to be live premieres for each of them at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I think I might change it to just putting the episodes up and not doing live premieres. They're going to be abbreviated forms of the podcast episodes, basically with what I've been working on, what I've been finishing, maybe some live stuff, or video of Mario and MTI doing rando stuff. Anyway, the other thing I'm going to say is that the Stitchity Silver vlogs, they did start on 5/5. I'm doing one per week. One every month on Wednesday for every month, at least until the end of this month. But honestly, I think I might continue that, because I kind of like having a separate space for all of my cross stitch, etc. Basically, during Stash Dash, it's going to be the only time you'll see my stitching either way. So that works. Like I said, I know myself. I knew that during the summer I didn't want to stop working on knitting and crocheting items. This will at least make sure that I spend at least a few hours every month working on it, but it's actually worked out like a charm. See this Wednesday's episode and you'll see what I mean. Anyway, I've also been doing a lot, and I repeat, a lot of streaming recently. I've been streaming Lego Harry Potter, years 1 through 4, and then also years 5 through 7 is what I started. I'm going to be doing year 7 part 2 starting on Tuesday, I think, but I've been streaming mostly on Sundays with diamond painting, and then the other 2 days doing Legos. Recently, however, though, I have started playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, just a little bit when I do villager hunts and things like that. But so you all know, there's going to be a new streaming schedule going forward here, actually on YouTube. I'm putting up streaming videos starting tomorrow, as of when this episode goes live, not when I'm recording it. You would have seen a little intro video I put up yesterday. So I hope you like it. You don't have to watch them. Everything is going to be labeled as to whether it's a gaming video or a crafting video from here on forward, so you know. Yeah, I've been busy in the background. What can I say? All right. Now it is time for a Cal breakdown. Let's start off with the Stripe Along 2021. A little bit of backstory. At some point last year, I had realized that I was down to about 3 more skeins of Desert Vista Dyeworks stripey yarn. As I honestly have been collecting stripey yarn from different dyers and things like that, I think I might still get a full year, if not more, if I continue knitting a pair a month. With the exception of July, I've been doing an okay job. Either way, I actually decided to put an along together for those that want to include any projects that they use any stripes of any kind. Again, this is a year-long along, and I'm going to be using the hashtag SDL Stripe Along 2021 on all social media platforms. We do have threads on Facebook as well as in our Discord board. I'm going to be linking both of those in the show notes down below as well. Excuse me, I want to take a drink of coffee. The rules are simple. Anything that you finish in 2021 with stripes will count. You must be a member of the Silver Dreamland Discord or Facebook group to enter your FOs there. If you don't use either one of those platforms, or if you need help on either of those platforms, please let me know. You can also use the hashtag and at me on Instagram. I am at Silver Streets on those platforms, so that I know to go ahead and count your projects for the along as well. And I'll put that in the Discord and the Facebook groups for you. So don't worry about that. Again, color work, Fair Isle, stranded color work, double knitting, and intarsia does count as long as the color that you use are bright and cheerful, as you do. Could be any kind of stripes. I'm going to be completely honest about that. A few notes for this along. You can actually enter your project multiple times. There is no need to enter the FO multiple times. As long as you notate how long it took you to complete each project, I will comment back with the corrected post numbers, so that way you get credit for all of your hard work. A note, if you started and finished the project in 2021, you can count it a total of 2 times. However, if you finished it in 6 months' time, you'll enter your FO 3 times. If you finished in 3 months, 4 times. Also, if you finished in 2 months' time, it'll actually be a total of 5 entries you get. Now, here's the thing. If you're like me and you're trying to do a pair of socks in 1 month's time, you can actually enter your FOs a total of 6 times. So, yay! Oh, right. So the reason you're here, right? You want to know about the prizes. Well, we do have a digital prize that was actually given to us by a Looney Hiker, who is Pat, has actually offered one of her lovely patterns. You can actually look at all of her patterns on Lovecraft or on Ravelry. Links to both will actually be in the show notes and labeled as such, as well as on Discord and in the box below. That way you can take a look and see all of her wonderful patterns. Let's see, in terms of physical prizes, we do have a skein of fairy lights from West Yorkshire Spinners. Love the sparkle. And there's actually a pattern that goes along with it. I believe this is cuff down vanilla socks. It's awesome. I love it. We also do have 200 yards or 100 grams of 100% merino and a mini, actually, from the fiber tree. Sorry, I'm not going to take it out of the bag, and you can hear all the crinkling, just because I don't want to worry about getting any cat hair on it in case the winter is allergic to cats. So, also included as a prize, there's going to be 2 different blankets that I made, crafted by yours truly. You have option 1, I'll put a picture here. And option 2, another picture here. You see. If anyone wishes to donate any prizes, please, 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 just message me on Discord. As I said, I am SilverD, hashtag 8858 on Facebook, SilverD, or you can actually email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com. You can even message me via Instagram Messenger. Just be aware it takes some extra time because I do have to come from Facebook to get into that email box because my phone is my phone. Anyway. That's fine. All right, who finished objects in July? Well, we had a few people. Let's say congratulations to Emily R, I Now Hour, Meditative Crafter, Nicole S, and Walsh Central. So congratulations, everyone. Thank you so much for putting your FOs in. I love, and I've had so much fun watching every FO come in. Quick reminder before we move on to the next salon. Please make sure you do come by on the threads or even on the posts on Instagram and Facebook and whatever. Just if you like your favorite FOs from the previous month, that'd be awesome. There might be something in it for you by the end of the year. Cannot confirm yet. Anyway, let's move on to the next along. All right, let's talk the Dream Along 2021. A quick note, like everyone, I was literally dreaming of saying goodbye to the year that shall not be named, the Panini year, something fierce, especially by the end of it. Basically, in an effort to literally dream the year away, I thought to host a new along this year where I finally cast on projects that I have been dreaming about starting or finishing or anything like that. Literally, like I said, literally dreaming about these finished projects that I've had in mind and in my queue for so long. To this end, the Dream Along 2021 was born. Like I said, this year is going to be the whole year is going to be the cow. I'm going to be using hashtag SDL Dreameralong 2021 on all social medias. The rules for this one are simple. Anything that you do finish in 2021 will count, as before. And with every along, you must be a member of the Silvers Dreamland Discord or Facebook group. If you don't use either, I completely understand, trust me. Just please make sure you can use the hashtag and at me on Instagram. Again, I am at Silvers Traits. This way I know to count your projects for the along. Now, the main idea for this along is to start or finish things that have been in your queue, whether as UFOs, unfinished objects, or things that you've been dreaming about casting on and just haven't for whatever reason. Say, for example, I don't know, the even star in my case. I still have to go back and fix that, but that's another story altogether. Anyway, basically anything you finished in 2021 will account for this along. A few notes, you can enter your project multiple times. This is actually based on the length of time the project has actually been in your queue. There's no need to enter each FO multiple times. As long as you notate how long it's been in your queue and how long it's been marinating, I'll comment back with the proper or the amount of post numbers that you're eligible for. So, yay. If you did start or have had this in your queue more than a year, you can enter a total of 2 times. If it's been 2 years, you can enter it 3 times. If you've actually had it in your queue for about 3 years or more, you can actually put it into your, you'll be eligible for 4 total entries. If you had it for about 4 years in your queue, you can enter it 5 times. The same goes for 5 years, you can enter it 6 times. Now, here's the thing. Here's a good way to get most of your long winglishing whips out. If you started or actually had this in your queue more than 10 years, basically longer than I was ever on Ravelry, you can actually enter your FOs a total of 10 times. So, yay! I don't even know if I have any more that fit that category, to be honest. I think I finished one of them a long time ago. Anyway, I digress. You want to know about prizes, right? Well, from Yorkshire Spinners, we do have the Starry Night colorway. Nice and blues and sparklies. And there's actually there's a pattern that goes along with it. It is a top-down pattern. It is a lace panel socks. Pattern is called Comet, designed by Winwick Mum. I absolutely love that pattern, you guys. Also, for physical prizes, we do have Luex Sonics circular needles, size US 5, which is a 3.75 on a 24-inch cable. Nice and flexible. Yay! Also, for physical prizes, we do have a choice of 2 different blankets of the winner's choice, made by me. There is option 1. I'll put a picture here. And option 2, I'm going to put another picture here. All right, if anyone wishes to donate any prizes whatsoever, please message me on Discord. Again, I am SilverD, #8858 on Facebook, or you can actually email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com. I do have a few other prizes I might be doing later on, but we'll see. Okay. You want to know who actually entered FOs in the month of July, correct? Well, let's say congratulations to Emily R., I Now Hour, Linda C., Meditative Crafter, Nicole S., and Wall Central. So congratulations everyone for entering your FOs in the month of July. Once again, make sure everyone goes and votes for their favorite FOs from the past month. Like I said, there's a little bit of something involved. Okay, let's talk Pride Along 2122. Now, this along will actually run from Monday, May 17th, 2021, which was the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia. And it's going to be going until the end of June 2022, so there's plenty of time. For this along, I do recommend you can either use hashtag Pride Along 2122, you have hashtag MC Pride Along 2122, you have it GGKCS Pride Along 2122, also AK Pride Along 2122, and WS Pride Along 2122. If you would like to go ahead and support any of our podcasters or the people that have been so generously donated things, we gave them a hashtag to use on their own. Or if you'd like to encompass us all, you can use the hashtag PrideAlong2122 on all social media platforms. It's actually the easiest way that I will also see your FOs. They're on Instagram. So, yay! Okay, some ways to play or rules. You can play along by knitting the Progression Shawl by Carin. I'm going to put a picture here. Or you can also crochet the Quick and Simple Granny Shawl by Howens, which I've done a few times, but here's what it looks like in her pattern. You can also play by using any Pride colorway that does include, but doesn't exclusively mean like rainbow, but it could also mean like rainbow colorways, gender fluid, intersex, trans colorways, all of it. So you can use even if you actually knit or crochet or stitch any Pride flag or even diamond painting, it will actually count. You can use blocks of color to represent the flags in a shawl or any other items. That all does count. I love it. I love what I've seen so far, you guys. Makes me greedy for more. But anyway, if you do use a pattern with the word pride or proud in it, it does count as well. Anything also with rainbow in it, like the name rainbow or anything like that. If you do include the name of the designer, the design itself, and the link, you do have to include that in your post as well. If you can't find a link other than to Rav for the project, that's fine. Just please notate that so those that have accessibility issues with Ravelry will know, and you know, won't get, yeah, anyway, won't get triggered. But anyway, you do get double entries if you decide to knit the progression shawl with a pride colorway, or if you make a pride flag while knitting the progression shawl. You can also get double entries if you crochet the quick and simple granny shawl with a pride colorway, or if you make a pride flag while crocheting the quick and simple granny shawl. Like I said, anything with rainbows counts as well. So, yay. All right. The reason you're all here, right? You do want to know what prizes we have. Well, we do have a number of digital prizes. The first comes from Cece and Tammy of Jobber Pearl Designs. They've actually offered their wonderful Catch the Rainbow socks as a prize to one lucky winner every month. This pattern can be found on Etsy or on Payhip. I'll be linking both. They no longer use Ravelry, so. Also, Cece and Tammy have donated a free pattern of theirs every month as well. This will be of your choice, and all the patterns can be found at www.jobberpearldesigns.com/patterns. I'll be linking all of these wonderful dyers and donators down below as well. I will be giving away a free copy of my Proud to Be Me shawl pattern that will be given away one per quarter, so every 3 months. Mercury Zelda has actually offered one of her wonderful paid patterns per quarter. Her shop can be found at Her shop can be found at www.mercurialknits.com/shops. Sorry about that, Merc. I'll go ahead. And I will link everything below. There was also going to be two of Mercury Zelda's wonderful patterns that will be given away at the end of the long as well. All right, let's talk physical prizes. Well, Cher and her hubby of the Meditative Crafting podcast will actually be giving away a board game called Art Ravels to a lucky winner. I don't have that physically, but I will put a picture of it here. So you can see that for yourself. We'll also be giving away a skein of Desert Vista Dye Works in the Mother of All Zombie Queens. It's actually an 8 striper. It's very gorgeous, and it has a lot of sparkle in it. I'm trying to catch it. Where's my face is stopping it, focusing on it. But isn't that pretty? I love that colorway. Sorry if you can hear it. The neighbor decided to come home on his motorcycle. Anyway, let's move on. The next thing that we're going to be giving away is a skein of yarn from Nice and Knit in the Times Square colorway. Oh, that is gorgeous. I like to try to pick up all the colors for you. All right, we are also going to be giving away a skein of yarn by Sweet Georgia Yarns in the Rainbow Sparkle colorway. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm trying to do it justice. They've got some greens in there and some pinks. I love it. I can't stop looking at it. Anyway, we're also going to be giving away 2 sets of Rainbow Progress what I call a Progress Keeper and Stitch Marker set that are actually donated directly from Adorn Knit. They look like that. Gorgeous. So there's 2 of those. I'm not going to take them out of the baggies because it takes way too much time to take them out and put them back in. But there are 2 of them. We're also going to be giving away a set of large stitch markers, as well as a little Rainbow Progress Keeper. I'm trying to show you. Oh, I have the marker in the way, but that's not happening. So cute! And there's also a little heart stitch marker here too. There it is. Haha. So thank you so much, Steph from AdoreKnit, for donating those. Like I said, I'm going to be, all the shops and everything are going to be linked in the show notes and down below. All right, let's see. Rick from Whimsy Stitches actually has also donated a few things. He's actually donated a couple of sets of Rainbow Pride Sheep enamel pin. That's this one right here. Sorry, this one right here. And also a Rainbow Unicorn Progress Keeper. What I'm going to do is I have 2 different sets of these to give away. And Rick also included a combo of Rainbow Pride, the rainbow silicone stitch markers. These guys are here. You can use them for stitch markers or anything else. And I'm also going to be including this Rainbow Progress Keeper along with it. He's also donated one of his wonderful bags. And we're going to be including this little cute little Progress Keeper. It's so cute. Oh, I love this card. Oh, and we do have a new prize alert since the last time we talked. I have actually finally finished this one. This has been in my brain for a while. I made a crochet prize shawl, which is the Quick and Simple Little Granny Shawl by Hannah Owens. Let's see if I can back up enough so you can see most of it. It is huge. Huge, huge, huge. So, we'll see. I cannot wait to give that away. It's so gorgeous. We've got the trans flag in there. We've also got the rainbow. It's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Anyway, if you would like to go ahead and donate a prize, please PM me directly, or you can email me at silversdreamland@gmail.com, and I will definitely make sure to get you on the list. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick drink, and I will see you in the next segment. Now we have come to the end of the road. I'm pretty social. You can actually find me on our Discord board, which is Silver's Dreamland Podcast. I am SilverD, #8858 there on Discord. On Facebook, Silver's Dreamland can actually be found at www.facebook.com/groups/Silver's Dreamland Podcast. Yes, I know when you are on Facebook and you do a search for Silver's Dreamland Podcast, both a group and a page come up. If you follow the group for all episodes and along updates, that would be awesome. If you are part of a quick note about the Facebook group, you don't need to answer 3 questions, as I'm actually trying to keep spammers out of the group. I've had a few trolls recently. Anyway, first question is going to be, what episode am I up to today? Well, today I'm actually at 107. The second question is, what is the name of Silver's son? Mario or Mario the cat will work. If you don't remember these answers, that's fine. Just please note that in your answers. Chances are you'll be in, but however, you do need to read the group rules and hit agree. The rules are simple and absolute in my eyes, especially when you answer the questions. You just basically have to agree to be nice, don't dox people, don't gaslight anyone, just be nice. That's it. And be as tolerant as you can. Try not to be racist, that whole thing, because it's important. Anyway. When episodes go live, the notifications for them may also bounce onto the page as well, so if you keep an eye out for that one, more the merrier. Okay, on Instagram and on Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting. I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. This past month, I took more breaks off of Instagram than ever before, but I did eventually catch up. But if you don't hear from me within those 24 hours usually, or 48 hours after that, please feel free to email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com. As always, everything that I do talk about can be found in the show notes, which is www.silversdreamlandpodcast.com. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to subscribe and hit the bell down below. This way others can find me in my own little corner of YouTube. That, and you can actually see when I post videos, and it does help the algorithm kind of notice me a little bit more. Okay. I I have rambled long enough. I know your time is valuable, so please feel free to join in or to start any discussion on the Silver Streamland wrap. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Please feel free to join in any discussion or start your own on the Silver Streamland Discord board or the Facebook groups. I don't bite, I promise. If you are feeling generous, please click that like button below this video. It really does help my channel out. Alright, so I will be back with a stash vlog next Wednesday and an episode of Stitchy Silver this Wednesday. Until next time, happy crafting, y'all!